Hi guys, I'm Mike Tipple, and today's video is a how-to smoke ribs for beginners. Alright, now we're going to talk about some of the things that you're going to need. Obviously you're going to need some ribs. Today we're using baby back. We got them from our local Kroger, about $2.99 a pound, so it was on sale. You can use spare ribs, but best results definitely baby back ribs. Some plastic wrap, some aluminum foil, and we are choosing a commercial rub because today is for beginners. This makes it really easy. This stuff is my go-to. It's the Memphis Pit barbecue from McCormick's. Don't have to worry about mixing up anything crazy today. This is for beginners. Some mustard, and we'll be rubbing the pork down before we get the rub on there with the mustard. And barbecue sauce. Choose any barbecue sauce you like. Alright, one of the first steps you got to do is get them out of the package, rinsed off and patted dry. Alright, the next step is removing this membrane on the non-meat side. So the rib side, we want to remove this thin little skin here. And what this will do is when we go to put the rub on, it'll allow the rub to penetrate the meat a little bit better. But with this membrane here, it kind of keeps it from happening. So you just want to kind of start at one end, whichever is the easiest. A lot of times you can pull it apart here. But you want to get your knife and kind of cut away. It can be a pain, but it's totally worth it. You'll notice you'll start at one end and it's a little more difficult, and if you go to the other end it might be easier, so let's try that. Usually once you get an end up, it peels back pretty easily. So you see here we have a nice little end started. I should be able to technically pull it from one end to the next. And there we go. The hardest part is just getting the end started, but once you get it going, it's pretty easy. Alright, perfect. The membrane is gone. Alright, so I got the membrane off the ribs, and now we're ready to put the rub on. But first, we want to put our saran wrap on our countertop. This gives me a nice area to lay my ribs on and start the whole rub process now. Alright, this is the part where we apply the mustard, and this is what we do right before we put the rub on. So pick whatever mustard brand you like. This is just a Kroger brand, and it should work just fine. You don't have to put a ton on, just enough, and actually rub it in, like use your hands. It's a little messy, but flip it to the other side. That's what the saran wrap comes in handy, because you'll be wrapping the meat with it and keeps your countertop from getting super messy. Alright, we got it rubbed down with mustard. Now we add the dry rub. I'll be right back here in just a second. I'm going to rinse some of this stuff off. Alright, now for the dry rub. And once again, I'm using the Grill Meat McCormick Memphis Pit barbecue rub. This is to my go-to for ribs. I even use this on my pork shoulders if I ever do pulled pork. But cheap. I think it was 99 cents for this, and I usually use probably about one per rack of ribs. You want to be kind of liberal with this. Don't be scared to put it all over it. You can't over season. So get a good amount on there and rub it in with your hands. They don't call it rub for nothing. I think the most important part is the meat side of the rub. So if you're going to be really heavy, I would say on the meat side. All right, flip it on the other side. Rub it in. All right, I'd say that is good. As you can see, we've got it on there pretty good. And this will actually soak into the meat. We're going to wrap the saran wrap in it, and then we're going to stick it in the fridge. All right, now I'm going to actually leave this in the refrigerator overnight. If you don't have that kind of time, I'd say give it, a couple hours to let that rub really get into your meat. And that's what's really going to tenderize it and give it some really nice flavor. Alright, it's the next day and the ribs have been in the fridge all night soaking in all that flavor. We're going to get them out and the fun part starts now, smoking them. Alright, we got the ribs out of the fridge and got them unwrapped, and man, these things look and smell amazing. We are just about ready to get these things put on the grill. Alright, we're ready to preheat our smoker. Today I'm using the Pit Boss 820. It's a pellet grill, but you can use an electric smoker, you could use your oven. The temperature we're going to set it at is about 225. Alright, the smoker should be preheated out there and we're ready to get these things cooking. But first I want to tell you the method we're going to use today on cooking these ribs. We're going to be using the 3-2-1 method. The first 3 hours we're going to take the ribs and we're going to leave them on unwrapped. After 3 hours we're going to go out, we're going to take them off, we're going to wrap them in foil and then put them on for 2 hours. And lastly, the last hour we're going to take them out of the aluminum foil, put them back on, and that's going to give us our nice bark on the end. We usually baste it with a little bit of barbecue sauce, or you can leave them just as they are and let people put barbecue sauce on them how they like them. So let's get started. Alright, the ribs have been on the grill for about 3 hours. We're going to go out, pull them off, and get them wrapped up. Alright, we got the ribs off the grill. They've been on there for about 3 hours. We're going to get them wrapped up in aluminum foil, get them right back on the grill for the next 2 hours. All right, the 2 hours is up. We're gonna head out there, pull the ribs off, take the aluminum foil off, slap some barbecue sauce on, and get them back on for that last hour. Well, we've reached the end of our cook. We're gonna head out there, pull the ribs off, and see how they turned out. All right, guys, we got the ribs off the grill, and man, do they look and smell amazing. I'm actually gonna wrap them up and take them to a family cookout, but I hope that this video helped you make some delicious ribs on your own. If you guys like this video, like and subscribe and comment below, and we'll see you guys in the next video.